Hello, everybody. Michelle Bruce, Jit Kujar, and Ingerid, Esme, Ferrer, Ezhno. All right, let's get started. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, wonderful.
How you doing?
I'm so fine, actually.
Really?
Was really looking forward to this interview again because I so love it. So yeah, I'm fine. And how are you?
I'm good. I mean, I'm going through something. Something's going. I mean, something. And really, last night and today, it really hit. Morgan's been saying, you know, and I follow that divine feminine, transmitter, receiver, because I found that it works. But she's been saying, let's not do anything until after July 31st. She's just been receiving that. And I learned to respect this intel that she gets, right? So, and it feels like that. And then I got up this morning and I saw a post or an article, and it was talking about the super black moon, which is a second new moon in the same month. And at the same time, there's this geomagnetic storm that's coming on over the next 2 days while this new moon is happening. Now, I don't follow all that stuff, but there's something seems to be happening. Like I don't know how to describe it. I figured that when we talk today, we might work it out. Actually.
Yeah, maybe. You never know what will come true when we talk together, like when you and Morgan talk, or when this, because of this extremely intense, what can I say, frequencies, energies. They are more intense than ever before, and they will increase because we are capable also. We what can I say, we have had a long time now to integrate light or source or whatever people choose to call what is going on. And we have also been prepared to be capable of embody more light, these higher frequencies, or love. It's all about love.
True.
The frequencies are love. And when I read that something is going on, when we have, as you said, we have these magnetic storms, we have solar flares, we have black moon, or we have red moon, or all these things, we are not affected by those things.
Yeah.
What we see is that, what I call it, is that what we see is God in work. God is, because everything in the creation is affected by what is going on. The sun, the nature, the oceans, the air, the animals. Yeah, everything, absolutely everything is affected by this. This, both call it transformation and integration of love.
Yeah. And how does that, this is where I'm at. Like, so how does that translate into, into the most basic explanation? And I'm kind of like, and it is about love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, so love is like the reality. It's the only
love
thing
is absolutely, love is the reality. It's the only reality. I don't know what kind of associations people have when we talk about love, and that we integrate love or embody more love. I don't know, but love is God. Love is the light that we are created of, or from, and are. Love is the most powerful energy or frequency that exists. It's the only vibration or frequency that exists. It's love. Love is not weak. Love is not something that belongs to this. I don't know how to explain it, but belongs to this. Okay, we what do you call it? Romanticize love, or this kind of love. Love is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Love kicks asses as
Yeah.
well as love is what make women capable of carry a child and give birth to a
Yeah.
child. Love is what make a continent disappear in the ocean, or a volcano, or a tsunami, or a butterfly wing. It is only love.
Yeah.
And that's you got me started there.
Well,
Because
no, this is good. This is where I wanted to go, and you're the
thank you.
and
That's
you're the
good.
and you're the perfect person to talk to about it, because
Oh, thank you.
I've read enough of your stuff, which is what we're all saying in a way. You've got an eloquent way of putting it. I mean, I've been saying I am soul for 8 years. It's the same message. It's not just love, it's self-love. And
Yeah.
self-love is the same thing. Is going to translate to the external. I can only love anything outside of me as much as I love myself. I can only love
Yeah.
the universe as much as I love myself. So here we go.
Yeah.
So yes, we're
And
talking
that's
about
what, sorry,
that.
and that's what I really was forced. I used the word forced.
Yeah.
That it was love itself that forced me to really, what can I say, remember again, or discover again, or truly, fully, remember again how powerful love is, and how extremely important it is to love myself first.
Yeah.
I really understood fully when I had my 3 near-death experiences, that loving myself unconditional,
Yeah.
was not only was I capable to really, what can I say, not heal myself from cancer, but I was capable or willing to allow to love my cancer, as I
Yeah.
said before, to love it fully, openly. And when I did that, when I loved the cancer, I really, it's like I was shut out in the cosmos or space of freedom, because unconditional love is freedom. It's absolutely freedom. And in that I saw that then I won with everything. I'm absolutely one with everything that exists. And in that I affect other people. I have a huge, we all have
Yeah.
we have enormous effect on other people when we love ourselves unconditional. And that's why what I I think I remember that I told you before, and in one of our other conversations, that I realized that all my ex-husbands that I before had blamed for everything in my life,
Yeah.
that there was life itself. And love expands us. It opens up to a power we have never been allowed to carry until now, because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
No human being have been given this power. That's why what can I say, love or God also makes sure that when it comes to a point in our evolution or the human history, that when we have gone too far, things has been, what can I say, been stopped, or maybe this sounds even more crazy, but we haven't taken that power away for a while, because we, as I said, we was never allowed to carry that much power.
Yeah.
To what can I say, to to um, to ruin the planet or to
Yeah.
kill ourselves completely.
And maybe we're maybe our purpose here in this experience, in this incarnation, is to expand love like it's never been expanded before.
Yes.
And the way this realm has been set up as duality, and the ultimate duality being what is illusion, distortion, distraction on one end, and what is reality on the other end. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you take love as the extremes of the spectrum, we have this love that we was implanted in us, or that we believed in, that we were conditioned to, which is, I have to tell you I love you. I tell you I love you, so you'll love me. Or I was in that marriage for so long because out of love I thought I was supposed to go through pain and suffering, and we compromise ourselves for this idea of love that's not even love. That's the other side of the spectrum, that is the real love that we're finding, which is found by honoring ourself and loving ourself, as opposed to overcompensating and overgiving at the expense of reducing our own illumination, by depleting ourselves. We've all gone through these traumas. How much of this stuff that we've gone through we did in the name of love? Oh, I'm going to stay in the marriage because it's the right thing to do. That's what love does. Well, that's not what love does.
No.
Love does not.
Sorry,
You got it.
Sorry.
No, you take.
Love is freedom. Love is totally, absolutely freedom. And when I said that, love, I feel it also necessary for me to say that I'm not talking about the kind of freedom that you are together with a man or a woman, and you have this so-called open relationship where you can be with other partners and things like that. That is still ego. It's not freedom. Freedom, absolutely freedom, true freedom, unconditional love is that you don't have any need to make your partner make you or make you feel safe,
Yeah.
to promise that I will be with you for the rest of your life. But in that freedom, in that true love to another person, you love be with that person. It's enough. Do you understand what I mean when I say
Yeah.
it's enough?
Yes.
You really are fully present in that relationship with that partner, with that person. Love is when you love yourself unconditional. Everything that you need then, as we know, will then are already fulfilled within you, in you. You are enough.
Yeah.
Spending time being together with a person that you really love unconditional, also because you love yourself unconditional, will be the new era relationships. It will be relationships where we love, as you said, we will integrate love like never before, but we will also love like never before because there are no fear. Imagine what it means to be together with a person and you're not afraid of loving fully, completely, being totally open. You allow yourself to be vulnerable. You allow yourself to be open, to share absolutely everything. There's nothing you want to hide. There's nothing you need um, to make sure of will stay the same. You are in what I call a new energy partnership, not a relationship, because I said before I don't believe in relationships because relationships is the old energy. It helps a lot of concepts. It helps a lot of fear and the needs for security. But imagine those relationships where a man or a woman or two men or two women are together in true love, in unconditionally love, and what that does to the environment, to the world, to the earth, to our children, to animals, to absolutely everything. And that is what we are not entering, but actually have entered. We have had relationships, including myself, that has been extremely dysfunctional.
Yeah.
But I needed them so much,
Yeah.
like I needed my cancer, because I so needed to really open up to the love that I am, to the power, and to the freedom that also takes us to and vulnerability that are our true passion. This passion we haven't embodied ever in the world or in our human experience yet, but that's what we do. The
Yeah.
passion will are our, what can I say, our unlimited creativity, because we are creativity itself. We are God. We are
Yeah.
God itself. We are eternal. Imagine being together with a person where you can love so fully, so totally, that there is nothing there, just this love, that where you can be your true self, where you can
Yeah.
be spontaneous, where you can there is no, what can I say, there is no fear for intimacy, not even emotionally or sexually.
Yeah.
This love is this natural space where every where both are equal,
Yeah.
and no ego or the what can I say, the old energy ego cannot survive in this. The same that happened to me when I got cancer, the same that happened in other different experiences I had, that my old ego couldn't survive. And when the old ego can survive, we are extremely vulnerable. When we see death in the eyes, if I can say, because there exists no death, it's only unconditional love. But we are so afraid of it. I know you have to stop me if I'm if
What?
I, you have to stop me if I'm if I'm going too far with
No,
this. But
you're fine. You're absolutely fine. But what I'm seeing, okay, I'm in a relationship,
yeah.
which has the trajectory of what you're describing, you know. It is freedom. And it's incredible. And I know there's a lot of that going on. I know there is.
Mm,
But I think it is the core component of this transition. In
mm,
other words, there are templates out there that are the pure love template. Ultimately, they all are. Let's put it that way. And they're
mm,
starting to manifest in the physical, right?
yeah.
And from that, other souls will pick up that energy. And this is how this thing's all going to change. That's how I see it. How does that happen on the human level? So if you go to a relationship,
Mm,
whatever it may be, in that relationship, you honor yourself
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
You know, like the example I think you gave an example a minute ago where you were saying, like, okay, so love is free. So let's say one partner says, hey, I want to love freely anyone that I feel like I have the urge to. The
Mm,
other partner might say, that's fine. I love you unconditionally. I'm not judging you. If that's the life you'd like to have, I don't want to have that. I'm
mm,
choosing myself, right? So what I'm getting at is, like, in every interaction that we have, whether it be with our partner, because they're all partners, right?
mm,
There's this split occurring. We've got this old concept of love, all these things that we did out of love. Look, 1/3 of crimes are crimes of passion. So
mm,
that's love involved in a very
mm.
extreme and maybe not a good way. But
Yeah.
we do these things, even to say I love you. Like,
Mm,
I know you love me. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm,
Based on my energy or based on your energy, I know you love me. We could sit in a
mm,
room apart from each other and not say a word. The
mm,
need to say I love you, the need to do things so they'll love me. If I do this, they'll love me. If I do this, they might say they love me. I mean, I just see this thing happening where the human love, or what was we believed was love, uh, isn't love. It's not about sacrifice. It's not about pain. It's not about taking on somebody's load. It's not about disempowering somebody, by doing stuff for them. We're all doing this together, but
Mm.
we're all doing it alone. It's here today. I mean, I can feel it. People are waking up to it. I can feel it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why this this time of transformation or transparency, I also call it the era of transparency. It is so beautiful and it is so powerful. At the same time, or I want to also add, while I remember that we are still, no matter what, we are still in a human body. We will still have human feelings, no matter
Yeah.
how much love we will integrate or embody, and we will embody our light fully. This is so powerful what is going on, really. And of course, we can also sometimes feel that I'm going crazy, or we whatever we in this time. Because I read and see a lot of people are going to losses when it comes to financial
Yeah.
things, losing their homes or
Yeah.
children, or everything is happening in an enormous speed right now because love is calling you home to yourself, and it can absolutely be brutal, but love is is something we will learn to not fear.
Yeah.
And when we really transform the fear of loving fully, I'm coming back then again that yes, you can love everybody. I fall easily in love with people. I'm so falling in love. It can be whoever it is, they're just showing their soul. There can be a smile, it can be an eye to eye contact, it can be a touch, whatever. I fall easily in love with people, but I no longer need anything from them. I no longer
Right.
um, I have for many years in my life, because I also been talking about my childhood. I needed a man. I was believing that men could make me safe. That's why I was married 4 times. Because I believed that, oh, it was a man I needed. I needed somebody that could give me what my dad or my mom never was capable of giving me. And as I said before, the pain was that I always remembered what true love looked like. I remember how it felt because I remember how love, this real love, is on the other side. If I can say the other side, again, there's no other side, but again, a lack of another word.
Yeah.
I remember how that love is, and it is sometimes undescribable. But I believed when I fell in love with this man that, oh, this is true love. This is
Hmm.
true love, and I will feel safe. I didn't know that this man, not after a while, that, oh God, I married my dad again and again and again and again. So for years, I blamed them. I hated myself. I put myself even deeper into hating myself, all these things. When I suddenly, as I said before, woke up fully and realized that I am love itself. Whatever had taken place in my life happened inside love, happened inside unconditional love, because there's nothing outside God. There's nothing separated from God. And God is love. Again, God is love, and we are love. So this is what we are integrating. Every concept and every belief systems about relationships are collapsing. Every concepts and every belief systems or identifications with freedom, with religions, with partner or relationships, the relationship I have to my children, the relationship I had to people, not be out, just like friends or whatever. It is all changing. And the change is that when we integrate unconditional love, we integrate this freedom that we are. And that is that we don't need anything from other people.
Yeah.
And when I stopped needing anything from men or from other people, I also set them free and the energy changed. Then I can love them. I don't need anything,
Right.
but, and this is very important, we can still feel sadness. We can still feel being abandoned. We can still have these human feelings
Yeah.
in this. And that's what I learned when I realized that I was loved. And it was love that also created the cancer. I created it. When I took this love and I dived deep into my own darkest abyss, I loved all my feelings, also feelings that I had denied. The feelings of not, because something in me was so told me that I will never be vulnerable again. I will never be hurt again. I will be this powerful woman, but I don't want to need anyone. So that came still from anger and fear. But when I took this love, dived into, as I said, my darkest abyss, I embraced that, what I had called weakness. I embraced my hate, my self-hate, my fears, my anger, my frustrations, and all of these feelings, because this is so important, had the highest truth in them when I no longer denied them, because I tried to be either a good spiritual person that was not allowed to be angry or hate or needed somebody. You, you understand what I'm
I think so. Let's go back up. Let me no no I actually
I
was
can feel that I'm jumping a little
no
bit.
no no you're not jumping. Actually, you're not jumping.
Okay.
Okay. So this is good. All right. Let me just get the comment back. So let me go back to what you were saying earlier. All right. So love is expanding on in this realm or in the universe in our lives.
Yeah.
It's coming in no matter what it looks like. It might look like a geomagnetic storm or a date
Yes.
or an event or an earthquake or whatever.
Yep.
But this is love. This is God.
Yes.
This is, and it's
Yes.
expanding. So you're saying, number one, I got two things. One, what you're saying is, and it really resonates, is that love is coming. So as a result of that, what it looks like in our lives is this relationship's ending, this house I'm losing, this job I'm losing, these children or this relationship I'm losing. These things are all happening. You got cancer because love was coming home to you. So you could find the love that you are. Is this what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And so then I go to the human experience, which I love what you said about your emotions. You can still feel these emotions. It doesn't make you any less or any more love. In fact, it might make you more love if you embrace it, right?
Because I
It's
expand. Every time I embrace them, I expand.
let me ask you, how I understand how you came to uh, understand that you were loved, right? Through the
Mm.
cancer, through the near-death experiences, through the marriages, and so on. But as an example, you just made the comment, and maybe this will be helpful for people if you could explain it.
Mhm.
How did you learn to love your hate?
I learned, and I love these questions, I really do. I learned because I was told that I could not be this healer. And I used the healer not in the old concepts, but God told me, you cannot be here as this grand healer you are if you don't love all that is. Because I asked God when I got cancer, and I was told that I also was supposed to have chemotherapy. and radiation therapy. And I asked, is this necessary? Or can I just love myself, use the power and love myself and allow this cancer to be absorbed by love itself? Then God said, you cannot work as this grand healer if you don't love all that is. In that instant, I had my first death experience because I had to do that to really experience. It had to be my own experience. That love is who I am. Love is creation itself. And in that love, when you say yes to it, when you allow it fully, everything is being absorbed. You do not have to get rid of anything. You don't have to fight against cancer or fight to survive, because there are no survivors. We are God.
Yeah.
We are love itself.
Yeah.
So when I realized that, I embraced my cancer. As I said before, I loved it. There was nothing in me that then fight against what was already there, because the cancer was also love. It was, as I said, as I have written in my book, and that it was my wild and untamed nature that took me to the edge of this love, where I had to, in a way, surrender, give my cancer respect. She deserved life. She deserved love. And when I learned to do that, I also learned to embrace my chemotherapy, my radiation therapy. I learned to embrace whatever arose in me after that, and I still do. And
So
that make me capable of not suffer anymore.
yeah.
I can cry easily. I can still get angry. I can still get upset.
Oh, I bet you can.
But I can, Todd. I really can.
I know. Let me ask you
So
something.
angry.
This is really good.
Yeah.
This is helping me. So from a human perspective, let's take the higher awareness out of it for a minute. So from a human perspective, I'm talking to somebody who had two representations of love in this example. One is cancer. Two is treatment, and serious treatment that's damaging to the human. Let's just put it that way. In one case, from the human perspective, one of these things, cancer, was not invited. I mean, I'm talking as a human. It was an intruder. In the other example, the chemotherapy and radiation was invited. Okay, even if you didn't want, even if the human wasn't happy about it, it was okay. I concede. I allow you to come into my field. Let's just look at it that way for a second. What you're saying is that there is no intruder.
No.
And there's no difference between what you found in your space and what you brought into your space by your own agreement, that they are one and the same thing.
Yes.
And as a human being, that's where you came to. That's how you learned to love hate.
Yeah.
Which is just another name for cancer, or just another name for chemotherapy, or just another name for your ex-husband. So my question now, and I love that you've explained this to us, does love say no?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this no are unshakable when it comes, exactly as this big yes comes. The more we allow love, the clearer we become. We, as I said, or I know this also sounds that I contradict myself, but I don't have boundaries. anymore. I don't.
We talked about that last time, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree totally with you.
I don't have boundaries. I don't set boundaries. I don't do that at all. But I am so loyal like never before to who I am,
Yeah.
to what I want, and what I here to do and express.
Yes.
That's a huge difference, because
That's right.
putting boundaries comes from ego. It comes from fear, and it suddenly not comes from the truth that you are love itself.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
If you are honoring your self, your
Yeah.
your love, your beingness, your love, that you are, right?
Yeah, because
There are no boundaries there.
no, because
But
God has no boundaries.
yeah, that's right.
But God, which what you are and I am and everybody, has a clarity. The clarity, as I said, is crystal clear.
Yeah.
I can be angry, I can say no, but this no doesn't come from fear. It doesn't come from, if I don't say no, now I will lose something, I will lose my self-respect, or I will allow people to walk over me, or they will violate my boundaries. It's extremely limited way of living. But
well, I was going to say, and okay, I love this because you are being loyal to your space, to your field, to your world, to your universe. And there again, going back to the two examples, one was from a human perspective, and an intruder that you didn't have, that at least from a human perspective or human consciousness, you didn't have a choice. It doesn't seem that way, but we know how that works at the higher level. The other one, you were offered something, you agreed. So now let's put, what is the most powerful and the most challenging situation we have in our lives, which is human interaction, right? So now let's look at it this way. You have a conscious person on one hand, and on the other hand, you have an unconscious person. In each one of those cases, I don't want to say violate, but they come into your field. Okay? You've already said that, yes, love says no. Absolutely. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
We sometimes don't say no because we feel sorry for an unconscious person. If it's a conscious person and they have agenda and they're aware of it, it's a lot easier to deal with the, hey, back off, you know. But if it's an unconscious person, a wounded person, it's a little more difficult. But I guess the bottom line is, I'm asking you, we still have to say no, right?
Yeah. We say no. But the reason I will, when you said in the beginning that they're so difficult to say no sometimes because we are so afraid of hurting that person.
Yeah.
But then we are not free. I talk about when you love yourself unconditional, you are free. You do not need anything from that person. We have only difficulty saying no when we need something from that person or persons. Yeah. Because I don't know if I explain myself, but the moment I don't need anything from that person, I can love that person. I allow that person to be exactly who or what he or she are. But I can leave. I can leave that person, still be open, still be vulnerable with myself, but I can leave.
Yeah.
I can let that person be the victim. I don't have to save anyone.
Yeah.
As I'm saying, I'm leaving everybody that needs to be saved. I leave them behind. I do.
And it's the best thing you could do for them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is love.
Yeah.
I'm leaving them with love. I don't, because it's too much painful. It's way too painful for me to put boundaries because it limits me
Yeah.
so enormously. But when I love myself unconditional, I'm open. I'm
Yeah.
fully open, and I can be in a room with another person that I don't like, but I can love that person,
Yeah.
but I can at the same time don't like that person. I know when the moment, what can I say, comes where it's necessary for me to speak the truth spontaneously, because that is also what we are here for, to be spontaneous and speak the truth when it's necessary. And if you have to call that person to whatever you used to call them,
What?
whatever you have, okay, then the person need that too. But you're still in love. You are still standing in love.
Well, I think that the what you've helped me with here is where you started the whole show with, so you can just put whatever face or name you want to on it. But you said love is coming, love
Yeah.
is here. So if I
Yeah.
say to myself, why is this disease in my body?
Mm.
Why is this energy in my space?
Mm.
It doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. Why is it here? It's here because love put it here.
Mm.
Right? That's
Yeah.
what you're saying. You're saying love
Yeah.
put it here. So just as you loved the cancer away,
Mm.
you can
Yeah.
love anything. You can call it transmutation, transformation, whatever you want to call it, or
Mm.
however you want to describe it. But that's what you're saying. God told you, love your cancer, love it,
Yeah. Yeah. And
away. Yeah.
yeah, and that is exactly what I do when I also work with people, when I work with couples. When I work with couples that are, what can I say, in the edge of the end of the relationship because they cannot stand it anymore, I tell them then that do not leave. As long as you work with me, do not leave.
Yeah.
I make them close every, what you call, back doors or fire doors. They are not allowed to escape because we are so used to escape from what is uncomfortable or what we fear, because we are so afraid of not being respected, of that the other person doesn't respect our boundaries. All these rules
Mm.
are 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 really is living a lie,
Yeah.
if I can say it like that. So when I work with couples and individuals also, I'm saying the first rule is to stop everything. And because that was exactly what I was told too. When I was in my third, I have to think, it was a third marriage. But yeah, it was the third marriage. And I was married to a psychopath. And I was really, really deep down in my own old energy, old history. And I was really in despair. I was crying and I was thinking, what the fuck was this? How can I end up being married to a psychopath? Me that had the experience when it comes to my dad and my mom, but have the education that I had. I'm educated a psychiatric nurse. So when I was talking to friends, something I was so convinced that when we have these conversations of so-called bad partners, that something for sure is that I will never fall for a psychopath. I know too much, but I did. I tell you, I did.
Yeah.
And I ended up married with him. And as I said, I was so desperate. I was so filled with grief and sorrow and anger because I had also moved together with him with my two kids. And for me, my entire life, my children was the most important thing. So there was one evening I was standing in his living room and God came through and said, it's not about your husbands. It's not about your man. It's all about you.
Yes.
Bam, it said. I started then to really the journey of really self-realization or self-discovery.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm the only one that needs to change. I'm the only one that needs to work with me.
You were the
And I start,
separation. You were the separation.
yes, I was the
And the
separation.
other thing I find really interesting about using the examples you're using, so the example of the disease and the treatment, and then the example of relationships, let's just say the marriages,
Mm,
the men, the husbands, the treatment, the disease are all just different faces of the same thing. It's
yeah,
love, and it's love, and it's no
yeah,
different than what you're saying and what's happening to people all over the world right now.
yeah.
And that is, why is this happening to me? And I gotta come to this conclusion now
Mm-hmm.
after hearing the way you explained it. It's really simple. Why is it happening to me? Why is it in my space? Why is it coming to me? Because I am the separation. Because
Yeah,
I don't see myself as that, or as him, or as
exactly.
her. And that's sounds really, it is simple. But
It is actually very simple, because that is also what I learned when I started my own self-realization, that I this my husband's was just a mirror what was inside me that wasn't healed, that I had been running away from long time. Um, I needed this man to really open up to my own traumas, to my own wounds, as you said, where I was separated from love. And and that's what I'm coming back to what I do when I work with people, when I work with couples, that you need only to work with you. And you need only to come to the realization that you are unconditionally loved. And when you do that, you then open up the space for every feeling you have ever had, every fear, everything. You allow it to come up. You allow it to reveal the truth that liberates. And you can then come to a point where you either choose to be with that person, but then you choose from love, or you choose to leave that person, but you choose it from love. It is that simple. But because we're so afraid of that freedom that true love is all about, so we stay, as you said in the beginning, we stay because we use this concept of, when you have promised something to be with them for the rest of your life, then you keep that promise. This is also coming from religions. But we are hiding. We're hiding behind. I know so many people are saying, I cannot leave because of the children.
yeah,
My mom did the same. She said,
yeah,
I cannot leave him because of you, because I have to take care of you too, so I cannot leave. But it was just bullshit.
I
It
did the
is
same
all
thing.
these lies. Yeah,
I did
yeah,
the
I
same
did
thing.
too. I did, of course we do, because we do what we have learned. We haven't learned unconditional love.
Yeah.
We haven't learned what freedom is. We haven't been allowed to be our true self. And that is also, I'm coming also a little bit into this, why I work with couples or adults and not children. I wake up parents and adults because we are the one that need to really connect with love, because when we connect with love, we will make space for our kids, for our partners,
Yeah.
and for the world.
I like that stipulation, or that rule that you have when you work with couples, because again, we're looking at energy. It just happens to be the face of a couple, right? The label of a couple. Where
Mm,
you're saying, when you get to the end,
mm,
like you're coming up to the edge of a cliff, you know, and
mm,
we've all been there. Uh,
mm.
the first thing you're saying is, don't run,
Yeah,
right? Don't
yeah.
run. Stay right
Because
there. Yeah.
yeah, because when we no longer can run, I can assure you that the shit is hitting the fan. Is that what you say?
Exactly, it is.
Because that is exactly what we've been trying to run away from, and we are trying to run away to not love, because we want to, we so need also to blame the partner. But when we have to turn around and meet ourselves in the door, is that what you're saying? At least we're saying that in Norway. We have to meet ourselves, to come face to face with ourselves. That is when the transformation is starting. And that is when the healing is starting. That is when we discover that our God self, that is when we discover our wholeness. That is when we are entering or allowing our true power to really liberate ourselves. But we have to go through this pain. We have to go through this resistance. We have to see that the partner also are mirroring the bullshit in ourselves that we don't want to deal with.
Yeah. Mira says, when you don't run, the lessons come clear. But I like what she's saying, but I like the other way better, which is, when you don't run, the shit's going to hit the fan. So let it hit the fan. You know?
Exactly. Let it hit the fan, because it's all about you again.
Yeah. And I really do love this whole thing about the understanding that well, you know, you said at the top of the show, that's a nugget of gold. I mean, why is this here? It's because love is in it here, basically, because love wants me to see that it's no different than me. And then on the human side of it, you've got this great way of explaining it, which is to be loyal to yourself. You know, that is love. That is love in the purest sense, to be loyal, to honor yourself. You don't have to like someone in the same room, you said, but you can love them, right?
You don't have to like.
You can say, let's stay together from love, and you can say, let's shake hands and part company for a while from love.
Yeah, exactly. And that is when I'm coming back. If we really are willing to stay in the storm, to stay in this, when the shit hits the fan, when we are willing to do that, we are also softened. Is that the right word? We become soft.
Yeah.
When we learn to embrace this, when we learn to say yes, because there's I cannot count how many times when I work with couples, when I say, you just say yes to whatever your partner are saying. And I said, okay, say yes, no matter how painful it is to hear, no matter how much you hate what you're hearing, I'm saying, say yes. And let this yes open you up. Let this yes breathe inside you and see what come up. Because as I said, every feeling we have, even resistance, have wisdom in it or the truth in it. So when we allow this to come up, when we say yes, don't blame, don't send it back, or don't blame or criticize, or saying, yeah, but what about you? You have done this always, or things like that. You're just saying yes, and you allow this to do whatever it has to do inside of you. I can assure you that there's so many couples that when they have so-called embraced this resistance or whatever arises, when they have to look at themselves, that after a while they are going through this, that was first resistance, and coming into this where they have this wow, and they discover the peace that they are that like never before, and they really start to get feelings for their partner again. Yeah, and it's so beautiful. I'm so privileged that can do what I'm doing, but I also feel extremely privileged that I am given carte blanche to also kick asses if it's possible, if it's necessary, I mean.
Yeah, that's the easy part. But well, for me it was. But
yeah.
I used to hit people, you know, figuratively speaking, punch them between the eyes. I punch them between the eyes with truth.
Yeah.
But it was hard. It was harsh. And what you said earlier about you soften, right? You can still do that. You say kick ass. I say punch between the eyes. But the truth is the truth, you know, and the truth doesn't always feel good. Like you said, you can love being angry. You know, you can love your hate. You can, you know, and okay, so now part of the challenge for all of us too is, oh my God, what will they think? I didn't answer their email.
Yeah.
You know, I told them that I'm integrating. I don't have anything to say right now. And they're writing me back telling me, you can't do that. There's something wrong with you. Bullshit. Okay. I'm to myself now. Now let me go one little bit further. So now we're going to sit here and we're going to think about what we're going to do with the disclaimer or filter. Oh my God, I better think about what I'm going to do because I need to consider what they're going to think about me. Well, we can't, that's not love. Is that love? That's not, I mean, we're not honoring ourselves when we're concerned. I mean, I care about what people think, but if I'm in my truth, why would I second guess myself? Why would I, you know, I don't know. Is this something we're coming out of? Is this something that?
Yeah, this is something we're coming out of. Because first of all, I just have to say what I remember. You can absolutely not, what can I say? You are absolutely in your right to not respond to every message you got. And second of all, if I get the same response that you have, I have to be blunt. Those people are not my friends anymore. They are blocked. They are. As I said, we are leaving everybody behind that needs to be saved. Because that is the old spiritual concept.
I'm leaving everyone behind that needs to be saved. Save your own ass. Save your own ass. I got to save my ass. I remember doing this early soul speak in the music, and it was talking about the ascension. It's my own ass I'm saving. You know, in other words, that's the only thing I can focus on. That's the only thing I can actually, it requires all of my attention. You know what I mean? It requires all of my attention, good or bad, you know?
Yeah, and that is exactly what unconditional love is about. It is about you. It is about you. What God said to me is not about your man, it's about you. It's all about you. And that's why I'm saying I'm leaving everybody behind that needs to be saved. I know that this can sound brutal, but it's the biggest love action I can do, because we are not supposed to save anyone because there are no survivors. I need to tell people that they are powerful beyond their imagination. That doesn't mean that we sometimes need other people to help us. We need to talk to other people. We need to be allowed to, what can I say, talk about our story. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that we are supposed to be on our individual islands and not needing anyone. That's not what I'm talking about, because the new energy is about that we are absolutely gonna understand fully that we all need each other, but not need from the old concept, not from the old spiritual bullshit or religions that has told us that we need to help everybody to up this mountain side or whatever. Not at all. Not at all, because we are God. And I can assure you, I was told once, because I also see and talk with the angels, that they told me, we are not coming down to your level.
Who said this?
The angels that I was talking to.
No, I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah. And that's actually what we've done. You know, we actually have gotten this higher information, and get into this awareness of who we actually are, and then we by our own choice go back down. And I hate to use that word, that term, but we go that's what the angel said. But we go down to this lower vibration and engage, which is irrational. That's irrational. We're actually dealing with an irrational frequency, and we can't deal with it rationally. We're dealing with it irrationally. Best thing we can do is what you said: those who need to be saved, I'm leaving behind.
Yeah, doing.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not the captain that going down with a boat.
I'm not the captain going down with a boat.
No, I'm not. I'm not this new energy leader, but I'm for sure going to be an example of who God really is, and that we are one. We need each other, but from a different perspective, from a different level, if I can use that word. But we don't need to be saved. And that's what also God said to me when I got cancer, when I went into this grand pause that that Easter was, that only love will survive this.
And you said something a minute ago, which I think you meant literally, but we also know this, everything is energetic, right?
Yeah.
So my question is this. So it's kind of a literal and energetic question and answer, I guess. So when you said those people who respond to the message that I gave, which is I'm integrating, I'm not talking, or even not saying anything, who get upset with that, you block. Now here's my question.
Instant.
Yeah, so here's my question. I guess let me just give a little backdrop. Energetically, and I'm going to admit this, in my own experience, I try not to block anyone because I feel like I'm resisting something if I do. But I'm very open right now in this moment to another way, because I got to say, it's probably more, it's more pain than ease doing that. Okay, so my question is, when you block someone immediately and you say that's not my friend in human terms, I block, whether you do it literally, energetically, or both. How does that work for you? How does that make you feel? How has that gone for you?
Because I know who I am and I know who that person are. That person needs some more, what can I say, needs some more silence from me, because it needs to find itself in a way. For me, I'm still standing and still feeling, and I still are capable of, if I can use the word capable, nothing has happened with my love and my freedom. I'm freedom. And from that perspective, I am capable of doing what I'm doing, why I'm here, and the reason why I'm here, the purpose why I'm here. And that is telling people that you are God.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the answer on your question, but the point is that if we are continue doing what we have been doing for eons of times, and that is putting everybody else before we take care of ourselves, we will never discover or feel the freedom that we are. And in that freedom, as I said before, is unconditional love. I continue be this love then for myself and from everybody else. I'm happy. I'm glad, and I have had very few people that answer me back if I don't answer right away or don't answer at all, because my life and what I'm doing are extremely busy, and I don't always have the time to answer. And I know for sure that if I don't have the time to answer, I'm not supposed to answer, because then the person need that silence because it needs to feel with me or without me.
Yeah, yeah.
But the point is that I cannot be this example of truth and unconditional love if I'm gonna respond to everybody that needs me and need to be saved.
No.
Then, as I said before, this is the old spiritual concepts that we are leaving. There's still so many new age spiritual concepts out there, talking about so much. This what also gives me chills is when people invite me to this meditation, this collective meditation for the world, to save the world and all these things. And I couldn't disagree more, because this is people that are forcing through the meditation their belief systems into the world. That is not freedom. There are, I've said it before, I've written it before, that there's people that want me to participate in this goddess retreats or whatever, to open up to my inner goddess or liberate my inner goddess power. Still, you don't find me there at all, because I'm not a goddess, I'm God. I'm freedom. The world does not need to be saved, but the world, humanity, needs definitely to know who we really are.
Oh, that's another good one.
Okay.
I'm not a goddess, I'm God.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with gender, by the way. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow. So, wow. Amazing. Very amazing. So here we are, and going back to where we started, all of this stuff is happening right now. It's more widely spread and more intense than ever, because love is calling us home.
Yeah. It really does, and it really are shredding, or what is the word? It's destroying. I want to use the word destroying every concept that we have had up till this era, or this time, where the old unbalanced patriarchal era and concepts and structures are collapsing. We are learning, again, if I can use the word learn, or discover, remember again how powerful we really are, and also it is the bravest people that are incarnated on the planet right now.
Which is who?
All of us.
Yeah.
All of
I
us.
see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
True.
And there was those that actually wanted to come.
Yeah.
But they was not allowed.
Uh-oh.
And that's why this time, what is going on, what is happening on the planet right now has never happened before. We have since the beginning of humanity, this is the grand plan that people have been writing about and talking about for eons of time. This grand shift, this grand transformation, or the grand ending of humanity as we know it, ending of the way we have been living as we know it, because love is now really have, what can I say, a firm grip of our hearts and open it up, either we want it or not. The more we resist this, the more painful it will be.
It's yeah, and at the same time, I love this. I love the extremes and of the way this is all presented to us. So the more we resist, the more painful it becomes. And then by the same token, if you look at it another way, or explain it another way, it is that when you get right down to it, there's really nothing at all that can take away from our commitment to being what we are. I mean, not any government or religion or country or laws or nothing out there can hurt us. Nothing is more powerful than what we are.
No.
You know, and so it's like, I think maybe that's why many of us are being put in extreme situations, such as you were.
Mm.
So you can make that choice and go through the pain one time instead of keeping going back and forth again. You know.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And there's more to this picture that we know when it comes to what we have said yes to before we came, what we have been, what can I say, trained, if I can use that word, or educated between our lives also to be capable of coming here in this time to embody love fully.
Yeah.
Not only did I chose that life, or I was chosen. You can use it the way you want. But I chose because I said yes to what I was asked to do or asked to be. I took on not only to experience the brutality of my dad and my mom, but I also did that to be capable of really, what can I say, no longer be separated from love.
Yeah.
I was, as I said, I was born open and knowing, and I never forgot. About home on the other side. But at the same time, I was also in a human body. I took in other people's feelings, also my own feelings, my own panic, my own shock, my own despairs, my own. I also was capable of feeling hate, which is the worst feeling I can feel because of my sensitivity. I really can get down when I take in hate or rage. But still, I learned to love that, to say yes to that. I don't protect myself from dark energies or negative energies. I don't ground myself at all. All of this, again, as I said, is old spiritual concepts. I embrace that too, because we cannot avoid it. And that is one of what we said yes to. Many of us, not all of humans, have this highly sensitive, empathic nature when they come in, but they are more integrated on this planet now than ever before, or whatever word you choose to use. So I'm trying to explain this as good as I can.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. But there are more to the picture than what is going on and who we really are and why we are here. But for sure, we have to wake up and understand that we are love itself and we can embrace everything and allow it. Like if I am together with some people and or a person that is really so-called dark, I don't have resistance. I just allow it to flow through me because it cannot hurt me. It cannot damage me because I'm love itself.
Yeah.
But the more we have transformed our, what can I say, the inner wounded child and our traumas, our fears, our dark childhood or whatever we have experienced, when we allow ourselves, as I said earlier, to dive deep into this and allow it to just reveal itself, to be transformed, the more love we are integrating, the more love is rushing in, if I can use that word, and the more powerful we become. And as I said before, the world doesn't need new energy leaders. The world needs examples.
Yeah, I agree.
Truly examples.
Yeah, it's not what you say, it's what you do or what you are.
Yeah.
Because that that's a communication of what has been in the higher dimensions. You don't need to talk. It's like a transmitter. It's like a beacon of light.
Yeah.
The more it shines, the more other lights pick it up. And you know, some of the intel that's come in on these shows, one has been what you were saying earlier, that, you know, whether they were talking galactically, angelically, whatever, they say that there's a line, there's a waiting list to come to this realm because of the opportunity for expansion, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
that's what I said. There was so many that wanted to come, but was not in a way allowed.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then the other thing is that the collective job that we've done has been like, if there was a target, you know, we blew the target away. Like,
absolutely.
We've gone way past what anyone thought. And
yes.
and,
We have our vibration. If I can say, the higher it goes, that means the more you say yes to love unconditionally, the bigger effect it has in the entire creation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is not that's right. This is
so yes, that's why I'm saying, if you can love yourself unconditional and block a person, the love that you are standing in to yourself will also affect that person sooner or later. That's how powerful we are.
And I guess now that I look at my own situation again, because it's energetic, is that although I didn't physically block very many people, by not talking to them, not responding, I guess I was blocking them. You know, I guess I was just saying, hey, I've enough. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna say something once, and you know, if it comes back in a distorted way, that's it. I'm done. You know?
Yeah, and we are allowed. We are really allowed to do that. That is the most healthiest thing you can do for yourself and for that person.
I just feel, and I just got to get this out. You know, love is truth, right? Love is truth. Love is not being
absolutely,
embarrassed.
and love can be blunt. Love is the truth that is crystal clear, and I can assure you, as I said before, my no's and my yeses has been crystal clear.
Oh God, I just got a big wave. A giant wave.
Wonderful.
We are, because I think like everybody, I mean, I deal with my own stuff every day. As a human, you know, all the stuff that we do. I love what I do. I love what we do, Morgan and I. I love bringing this transmission to our brothers and sisters every single day. I love that. And like I think a lot of people right now, because of whatever, because love is home, that we're being taken to a depth of choice, so that we can find a greater love that we are, the greater awareness of love and such. That's my way of saying that. I sit here today, and the human is in a little bit of fear, in a little bit of sadness, and a little bit of I'm tired, because once again I'm in this space of, will we be able to continue to do this? Will we be able to continue to broadcast? From the human level, it looks like we're in jeopardy. At the higher level, I know everything's perfect. And now at the Esme level, I'm just gonna love my sadness, love my fear.
Yes, because
be truthful, be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because this sadness and fear worries, when you, as I said, when you allow it to really have your love, your life, or life space, it will reveal a higher truth. It is, that's why I cannot stress enough how important it is to really open up for whatever feeling that arises.
Yeah.
Because we're still standing in this intense integrity, or embodiment of true love. But there are, and this integrity will also, what can I say, activate or cleans out, if that's the right saying.
That cleans out. That's right. That's exactly right.
It was English.
So when you embrace your emotions, I'm asking you, like, what do you do when you embrace your emotions? Like, say a situation comes up and it stirs emotions of, you know, probably the most difficult one to deal with, let's say, is anger, because we're told it's not right to feel angry. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, Morgan just sent me a note. Okay,
Oh.
she said I said your name wrong, but anyway, so okay, so when a situation comes up, and by your method, you're going to embrace, in this example, your anger. Do we declare or state that anger to the other person, or do we just embrace it within ourselves?
First of all, I have to say that anger is our natural feeling. It is a divine feeling. Anger is passion. Anger is fire. Anger is creativity. Anger is healthy. So never suppress anger. And I say never suppress any human feeling. But anger is natural. It's a natural feeling. That is where you have your no or your yes also. When I feel angry, it depends on the situation. It depends on the person or persons. Yes, I say yes to my anger, and I can say, fuck, this is really bullshit. I allow myself, and I can either say it inside myself, I have space for this. I have space to allow my body to be angry and to have the time it needs and the space it needs to flow through, because I know it has, again, a purpose. If it is a person that has made me angry, it also depends on the case. But absolutely, I have said a word in a clarity, because anger is also clarity, what that person needs to hear. And that is also what we're here for. We are here to tell people, person, the truth. It doesn't necessarily mean it's anger, because when we have learned that anger is negative, there's something we need, that is something that is not spiritual correct, which is bullshit. We miss the clarity. Yeah.
See, now I'm looking back at my own life, and I've been told that well, it's been a while because I haven't gotten but the anger or the passion or whatever you want to call it would come out, and but I guess what you're saying is with the clarity, anger with clarity. So you're saying basically I may express my anger to the individual, but it's going to be balanced. I'm going to be in a balanced state. Now that sounds kind of crazy that your anger is going to be in a balanced state, but you can actually explain your anger, I guess, in a balanced state. So this has made me angry.
Yeah, because your anger is balanced. It is balanced, and that's again what we have learned, that anger, when we are angry, that we are unbalanced. That is a sick person saying that. I mean it, because anger is clarity, and what is clarity? It is God. It is balance. There's something else with rage. If you feel rage and you lose your temper and you take it on a person, that is something different. But anger is balance. Absolutely. and I will. What comes to me is something that happened to me a while ago. I was sitting in the car with my oldest daughter, and we was going. She had planned to wash her car inside this washing halls, or what you call it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Washing machine.
So, yeah, washing machine.
I'm over here. I'm picturing you trying to wash your car, one of those car washes, and I'm thinking, what the hell do you call that? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And I never do that because I'm afraid of these washing machines for cars. So she just suddenly said, Mom, you just have to brace yourself. You're going to install this anyway because I'm going to wash my car. And I felt anger. And at the same time, I also suddenly understood that, okay, there's something here because I wasn't able to run because she was already driving inside it. And I didn't like it. And I told her, I don't like this at all. And she was just, okay, you just have to do it anyway with a smile. And suddenly there was a really loud bang behind the car. And I was like seeing that this brushes that washing the car would just eat up the car and everything. Really, this is worst case scenarios. And I started to cry, and I was crying so deeply that I was almost losing my breath. Like when you really, I was in shock. And as I said, I was crying. I'm just gonna have some water. Sorry.
Yeah. You're good.
And so I allowed myself to cry. I was sobbing, and my daughter was sitting next to me, and she said, "Mom, just let it come. Don't you understand what this is about? You know what this is about." And I was still crying too much to be capable of really answer, but I allowed it. I understood that, okay, this deep grief is really something deep in me that I either had missed or believed that I had transformed. So when I then just took my time and I was crying, and suddenly I understood that there was still something in me that was afraid of of um, the loud noise, because there was something I had experienced in my early childhood. As I said, because I was 2 years old the first time I was beaten so severe that I woke up naked in the basement floor, the concrete floor in the basement, naked, and the blood on my back was glued to this floor. So I needed really to go, or I didn't go. The body has revealed this. And I had a grand transformation in this. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because first, the anger was me believing that I was protecting myself from not going there. The other experience I had was when I really allowed myself to just open up to this deep sobbing in front of my daughter, instead of thinking, oh, I'm the mom, I have to be strong and I have to suppress this and I cannot cry in front of my children, and I'm supposed to be so enlightened, so I cannot have this human feeling and reaction. But that, as I was saying, that is when we are in our most healthiest, balanced level in our body and our human life. And I've said again, I cannot stress enough how important this is. I really can't, because this is so important. This is true spirituality, is to really love everything about our humanity.
That was a big one. I think I'm going to go wash my car now.
Well, I have no problems driving into this washing machines anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Well, whew, that's a big one. Was it good for me? I hope it was as good
Thank
for you
you.
as it was for me. Sounds like
That's
we just,
good.
that sounds like a sexual comment. I hope it was as good for me as it was for you. Or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll have
Yeah.
to we'll have to do this again soon if you're open to it.
Absolutely. I love these conversations. I really do. And I so love you and Morgan. I'm so falling in love and have fallen in love with both of you and what you're doing. And I'm again, I say I'm so privileged and I feel so honored. And again, I love these conversations and people that are listening and comment and writing to me. I so love it. I really do. And I'm so grateful. So I do it again in a heartbeat or a blink of an eye or what your American is saying.
What is the saying? What's the Texas saying? Quicker than
Yeah.
I can't remember anything right now. I just went into the twilight zone.
You are going to a major transformation, and I have to say that your energy and Morgan's energy are massive. So
Yeah, there is
what is
there's something major happening. Go ahead.
yeah yeah because I can see the energy and I can see that
I feel it.
there's huge transformation, not only going on in you individually, but also the relationship that you and Morgan have.
Yeah, it's really weird because all this normal human stuff, which we really do pretty good about not bothering us. You know, I mean, we do pretty good with it, but it's like it's not bothering us at all. It's like weird, like you know, like
Yeah.
you know, like basic stuff, like you know, what are you going to eat? Where you're going to live? You know, things like this, and we're not even. It's like I don't understand what's happening. And I feel something huge happening, and you're right. And I
But they're
know.
also sorry.
No, I was just going to say I know we're not the only ones, and you're right. It's also as a couple, like we've hit this I don't know, this space of just I don't know, I would just have to call it like maybe it's full circle unity. I don't know, it's something's really really different. It's either happened or we're on the cusp of it happening. I don't know. It's right here though. I can feel it. You know, I can
Yeah,
feel it.
what has happened and what is continue happening is that you are open up. You are open up to oh, what is
Love.
yeah, yeah.
We're tired of getting our
You're
ass
open up
kicked.
to love, and love is all that is. But there also a kind of sensitivity that you have never experienced before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's not always about you or Morgan. It's also about the relationship that you have, that you receive. You are receivers.
Yeah.
What is also will happen on the planet.
Yeah. I see that.
Because I can experience these things if I experience an earthquake on the other side of the planet, if there's a plane crash going on, if there's something so-called dramatic things that happen, I can have it like that. I have
You can
problem
feel it.
comes.
You can
I
feel it.
can feel it and I can see it.
Well,
I had 14 days before the grand earthquake that happened in Japan.
yeah.
My apartment suddenly there was no walls in my apartment.
Wow.
But it was filled, and as long as my eyes could see, with people dressed in black, and the symbols that you have when
like emergency symbol.
no, this symbol, when you have this oh god this it really it's when you got this, when Japan got this earthquake, the radiation
Yeah, yeah.
stations.
Oh,
Yeah.
the radiation sign.
Yeah, I saw a huge wave and this radiation sign, and I said to the person I was living with, and that this is something grand that will really shake up the world, and it will be an earthquake, it will be a tsunami, it will be a volcano, and it will be this radiation at the same time. And these people, so-called people dressed in black, was there for 14 days. And the same day when I heard on the news what was happened, they was all gone. And this is the way I'm living. And this is the way that you and Morgan will live also. And are living.
Yeah, let's do this again soon.
Absolutely,
And
I would love it.
I love the fact that, yeah, it's very easy. You cuss more than me, you're funnier than me. And I'm gonna test your psychic abilities, because I'm feeling really romantic, and I think there's gonna be a big earthquake over here in the next day or two.
I think that too. I can see it happen. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Thanks for staying up late with us. I know it's late over there. I really enjoyed it.
No, it's not that late. It's soon 11:15.
Oh,
but this is the best time for me, because this is when I'm awake.
Yeah, this is good for me too. Yeah, this is good. So yeah, I'll talk to Morgan. She's here now, and we'll reach out. Let's schedule something soon, because I think it's important.
Yeah.
It's always an honor to spend time with you.
Thank you so much, Morgan. Todd, it's really that for me too. And again, I'm sending a lot of love, or I don't have to send it, your love, but still, and a huge summer Norwegian hug to both of you and to all of you that has been listening to this. And I'm saying again, thank you so much.
Thank you. You take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, take care, both of you also, and all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.